So, Nikita, thank you very much that you have time for us for an interview today. Could you tell us what is LendSecured, so in a nutshell?
So yeah, LendSecured is a crowdfunding lending platform which aims to provide funding for the agriculture, for the farmers, and to solve the financial gap in this sector. Also providing investors an opportunity to diversify their portfolio and gain nice rates.
Okay, great. So what is the idea behind LendSecured?
So the idea is, so let me just make a bigger picture. So basically crowdlending is something new in the segment. So European Union looked at this new funding way as an opportunity to provide additional funding for those who need it, for the small businesses. Actually, if you read the regulation, it's stated that the purpose is to help small business to attract capital. So, and we have explored many sectors which are still in need of capital, and agriculture was one of those with a big financial gap.
Yeah.
It's not precisely measured, but it's like from 8 to 16 billion, so it's quite a lot.
Yeah.
And we already saw how it works in construction business, in real estate. Many great platforms like solving this issue in this field. So we just thought it's a next step in crowdlending, a next challenge, and a next possibility for investors and for the platforms.
Okay, great. And what are the goals of LendSecured?
So the main goals, of course, the goals is of course to provide funding and to grow the funding amount, but our core value is investors' fund safety. So we will not pursue the volumes just to get. Also, our monetization policy is not only to earn on the commissions just for the issue. We are mostly focusing on the afterwards monitoring fee. So the platform earns from the ongoing payments.
Yeah.
So, and this is important for us for the borrowers to pay. So
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Who stands behind LendSecured? Can you tell us something about the structure?
Sure. So LendSecured is funded by me and my partner Edgars. He's a co-founder and co-owner. So we're working with Edgars. We're partners from 2011.
Yep.
So we started our business as a brokerage business, and we were loan intermediaries. So we managed to understand the lending from the inside, see the market possibilities, and then we just started lending. We attracted our first investors, and we just grown our business from scratch. Okay. And so it grew, and current portfolio is 10 million euros for the main business, and but it's only local, so the market is Latvia, and we see crowdlending is an option to diversify funding sources and to expand cross-border. Okay,
sounds interesting.
And also the team which is working on LendSecured is quietly good build, because we are working for like 8-9 years. We know each other. It's easy to communicate, and I think it's important for a team to be like well connected.
Yeah. It's quite a lot of time, so it's great. Yeah.
Now it's looking unbelievable for myself. It's like a lot.
Yeah, because time is running, right?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Okay. Is it a growing market? So there's farming loans and so on.
Sure, it's a growing market because there is a huge demand for such funding. But you mean from the borrower side or from the investor side? We see from the investor side the interest. Certainly, it's something new and diversifying, and also interesting and with collateral. But from the borrower side, there's also interest, and we have a local brand. So LendSecured is not a landing page for borrowers. They go to the local brand because it's more like how can I say, like localized, and there's more information. You can check it out. It's called lande.lv. Lande like
LV. Yeah.
So yeah, we're also planning to make Lande EE and Lande LT. So and hopefully EU. So yeah, and there are many products we can provide. So We started with land as a collateral. Land is in huge demand in Latvia, so the farmers don't have an opportunity to buy it, so they actually rent it, and the rent is quite high.
Okay.
And if we need to collect the debt and resell the assets, so it's actually goes like very fast. So there's no problem with regaining the money. So the second product is grain funding, which is something we decided to make as our front product because it's quite scalable because the grain price is fixed on the market. So with real estate it's harder. You need to check what the price is in Latvia, the price in Estonia. With the grain price it's a market price. So we as a lender and investor can be sure about the price. You can check it themselves on the Euronext stock market price. Yeah. And it helps a lot. And we see scalability in the product, and also it gives an opportunity to provide something more liquid to investors and to the borrowers, because not every borrower wants to collateralize their real estate because it's legally hard, it's more costly, and it's also like psychologically harder for them. This is the second product. We're also looking now to the machinery loans because there's also demand there. And we're thinking to combine the collaterals, for example, to make it more safe. We will not take only the machinery, but we will add additional crop harvest collateral and maybe even a land collateral. So by combining to making the LTV lower and providing funding to the farmers.
Okay, sounds very interesting. And who asks for that kind of loans? So the situation with funding for the farmers is that, like, if you're not a huge farm with 200 hectares or 100 hectares, with a big company with accountants and financial advisors, it's pretty hard to get a loan from the bank because to understand better what are the farmers. Farmer can be a professional in his field. He can know everything about it. He can be successful and so on. But he might not be successful, not be so keen on financial stuff. So he might have legal status. There's legal status like LLC, a company. But there's also, for example, in Latvia, zemnieku saimniecība, but it's like land company or something. Okay. And it's a little bit different in accounting. So if you come with inappropriate format to the banks, they just cannot see your results so clearly, and to evaluate it so clearly. So they're just not interested in such clients, and for them it's hard to evaluate the finances, and for them it's maybe a too small amount. So for example, if you issue 10,000 and the bank is earning 2 or 3%, it does not even cover the rent. It just or spend time to issue the loan. So it's not quite interesting for them. For us, we have 10 years experience in non-banking lending, so we know how to evaluate these clients. We're also doing it asset-backed for additional safety, and we're also looking at the crop results, not at the financials. For example, if we know the previous year's harvest, we can make a good picture of what will be the results of finance. Yes, so we don't need a balance sheet or the perfect account. So I like financial analysis myself. I also have financial educations, but the real world does not work like this. Maybe different because farmers are maybe small companies, I would say, and
it's family companies. They know about the land, they don't know about the finance. It's not possible, to work all day under the sun and come back and make the finance in the night. You need to sleep. So it's not very right. So there's a field for us.
Okay, that's interesting. What are the default rates for such loans? Can you give us some insights?
So platform itself is working for I think 6 or 9 months. We don't have the track record so well, but we have a track record in our main business. And so as mentioned before in the interview, we have a loan portfolio of 10 million, and the 1/3 is agricultural loans. I think we started agricultural loans in 2015 with our first investor. So it was a private investor, and our historical default rate on this portfolio was like below 7-5%. But during the COVID, the actual agricultural sector performed the best of all segments. I mean, we have others like consumer loans and business loans.
Yeah.
Agriculture was totally, I don't know, I cannot say unimpacted, but it was like they didn't feel any pressure at all because nothing changed. We changed with the food market.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also if you could not transport the goods, you can sell it in the local market. So it was pretty well. Yeah. And also, of course, there will be defaults. I'm not, a fan of a policy when someone says like we're like doing such a good evaluation that there will be zero defaults. I mean, even banks have defaults. It's possible. There's a percentage which is okay. So the question here is do you know how to recover the loan? Do you have the legal expertise? Do you have the collateral expertise? And do you have the staff who can do it? Yeah. So, and if you can recover the money, I don't see a problem here actually.
Yeah, I agree. For me, a default rate of 0 would be really strange. So it's not a reality.
Yeah.
Of course, it shouldn't be too high, but 0 is not reality.
Yeah, I mean, there are also situations like crises and so on. I think this is best like proof of concept, method, because you can work for like 10 years. And everything will be great because the economy is growing, everyone is paying, and you're like, I'm a really good lender. I'm so and also investors, now like everything's growing on the stock market, and all the retail investors, myself, I'm like playing with the stocks and the crypto and so on, and I'm like, if they see that I invest and my IRR is 30%, it's like, I think like, oh yeah, but I think, oh no, something's not right.
Yeah, that's right.
you need to look long term, just.
Yes.
And our concept is like, maybe the volumes are not that high, but we are looking that there will be the day when we need to prove that our concept was correct, and we can regain the money. So maybe even if the default rate will be 20%, we don't have any stress about it. At all.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, that's right. Why should I, as an investor, invest at LendSecured?
I even to my friends, I never say I don't agitate no one to invest. You need to make your own due diligence. You need to assess the risk. You need to like the product. You need to see the benefits. What I see and what our team sees in this product, that I believe it's a need to diversify, even between the economical segments. It's not only from platform to platform, just platform risk. It's economical sectors, and there is a new asset class in the market, which would be, I think, just smart to add for diversification. The rates are good, the terms are short, it's asset backed. We try to keep LTV. We have a strong team, and as I said before, we have large investors like high net worth individuals with several million portfolio invested in our business for several years, and those are smart people who build their capital. Just maybe this is a good example of and proof of our work.
Okay, great. And how many projects can we expect in future?
Currently, we had a plan to publish at least a couple of projects a week. During the summer, we had a lower amount of projects because of the team was very tired from the COVID. We had 1 year without rest, without vacation. So now we sent our sales team to vacation, one after one, and the sales amount dropped. But we are planning to come back more intense at the end of the summer. And talking about the cycle, so the agriculture, firstly we thought that it will be only very seasonal, just only in the spring or only in the autumn, but actually by talking with the clients, with the farmers, we understood that they need the money all the time. They just place the seeds, they need to buy fertilizer, and they need to pay for the fuel to run the machinery, the wages, so it's maybe
in December it will be a quiet place, a quiet month, but afterwards it will be. So a lot of products, a lot of works for the farmers. And we think it will be through all the year. So,
Yeah.
The volumes, what we expect, we would certainly like to issue next year something around 5 million. And this year we're not in a hurry because we are like building the cooperation with partners. So we're not obtaining loans only by advertising. We're also connecting with service providers like sellers of the seed, sellers of the fertilizer. So we're building a net to get the leads from those partners also.
Yeah.
So now we're like scaling up.
Yeah, sounds great. So we'll be happy about the future. Okay, Nikita, then thank you very much for this interview.
Thank you.